A quick backstory for the newcomers. In 2022, I went on a mini braid journey, not because it was trending. In fact, mini braids didn't trend so much until 2023. It was mainly because I was tired of my hair. Sorry to say, I know natural community, they don't like hearing that. They love it when you carry your hair on your head. But then there are times that in the journey you just get tired. So I was tired of my hair and I needed to give it a break. Relaxing my hair was not an option for me. Cutting my hair wasn't an option. So the best option for me then was just to put my hair in protective hairstyle. Out of the numerous protective hairstyle that we have, I decided to go for mini braids. The result was amazing. Like it was insane. I had to just look back at the length I was able to retain and I was like, wow, you did that. It was awesome. I had a lot of people also join me on the challenge. They also went on mini braids and they saw amazing results too. But then we only talk about the growth and the beautiful part of mini braids. Many people don't talk about what happens to your hair when you stop a long-term protective hairstyle, specifically mini braids. I'll be talking about my experience with mini braids. It wasn't my intention to stop. I didn't stop mini braids because I wanted to see the bad thing that will happen. It didn't cross my mind to stop mini braids. I remember my last post in 2023. I remember telling my audience that even though I've been busy, I'm still on mini braids. I will be updating them whenever chance to and all of that. But then I just had to sit back and ask myself this question. Why are you obsessed with length? I realized that I was obsessed with length. I was always checking inches. I just want to reach waist length. I'm always stretching my hair, always doing length check and the likes. That's not the kind of person that I am. I'm somebody that I cherish my hair regardless of the length of my hair. Whether it's short, whether it's long, I will always style my hair. I will always rock my hair. In fact, in real life, people tag me with natural hair. There is no way you will see it now and you will not see natural hair. That's the kind of person that I am. I don't hide my hair in protective style. I don't hide my hair under the wigs and the likes. But then I realized that with the journey, I was just being obsessed with putting my hair in mini braids, checking the inches, checking the undergrowth. That wasn't me. I just had to take it down and let my hair flourish in its afro state. That was what happened. And sometimes I would just do crown braids. So I didn't do it with the intention that something bad was going to happen to my hair. I just did it because I wanted to flaunt my hair the way I used to flaunt my hair. But then a few months after stopping, my hair was just breaking. Guys, my hair was breaking. It was breaking. I'm not talking about shedding. My hair was breaking. It was snapping. If I should run my fingers through my hair strands, you'll be seeing strands on my hands. I was like, what's going on? At some point I was frustrated that I wanted to even cut my hair because the way my hair was before mini braids, that's not the way my hair was after mini braids. Like, what happened? I don't want to think about the natural hair community. We know how to gaslight a lot when people talk about what is happening to their natural hair. I get the fact that you guys are trying to protect the natural hair community and you want people to join the community rather than living or speaking negatively about it, but it's just the reality. But then you guys gaslight. And in the comment section, I might be saying stuff like, oh, she's probably iron deficient, or she's probably vitamin D deficient, or she's this deficient. You don't know my hair. It is my hair, guys. So what happened to my hair was that my hair strands were fragile. It was so bad that if I should stretch my hair too much, it's breaking. It would just snap. My hair went through mechanical damage. It took my hair 2 years to recover from the damage that happened. I get the fact that we don't talk about mechanical damage as much as we talk about its damage. Any small thing, don't use it on your hair. Don't go above 200 degrees Celsius and the likes. Then chemical damage, don't dye your hair. If you bleach your hair, it's going to destroy your strands and the likes. But we don't talk about mechanical damage. It doesn't really happen that much because in the natural hair community, we don't really go on long-term protective style. We can decide to rock afro, then some other days we can manipulate our hair, some other days we can go on mini braids. Not like long-term like I did. For a whole year, I was on mini braids and I retained a lot. But then 2 years later, I lost what I retained. Let me now tell you guys the twist. Even though I lost hair, it was in different places. Some parts I did not lose hair, but some parts I lost hair. So it was scattered. Do you know why? Because when you do mini braids, you can have 60 sections, you can have 80 sections, you can have 100 sections. Maybe one section was extremely fragile and another section wasn't so fragile. So I lost hair on the most fragile part, and the one that wasn't so fragile, I didn't lose any hair there. So it was just scattered. And the part that I lost hair the most was the back of my hair. It wasn't all over the place. Now, the back of my hair, you can see the comparison. You can see the difference. Now to the side, I was able to retain 3 inches in 2 years for the side. So I didn't lose hair, though I retained small anyways, but then I didn't lose hair compared to the back where I lost a lot of hair. It was scattered. Assuming it's like, okay, iron deficient, or she didn't take care of her hair very well and all of that. It's not be like that. Lesson number 1, whether you're on protective hairstyle or you are not on protective hairstyle, your hair will grow regardless. You might not retain as much because, as you can see, when I went on the 1-year mini braids journey, I was able to retain 4 inches. 2 years later, when I stopped, I was only able to retain about 3 inches. Even though protective hairstyle is going to help you retain so much, you might still end up losing it if you don't take very good care of your hair. Lesson number 2 is that it doesn't have to be mini braids. There are other protective hairstyles that are great. We have mini twists, we have cornrows. It doesn't have to be mini braids. When you're going on a long-term protective style, it's just as if you are going to a war. When you want to go to a war, you have to be prepared. You need to have your shield. You need to have your hammer. You need to be healthy before going to war. You need to be prepared. Same thing with your hair. When you're going on long-term protective journey, especially mini braids, you have to be prepared. You have to start on healthy hair, because by the time you're done, your hair would have gone through trials and tribulations. If you're not careful, if you start your long-term protective journey on damaged hair, you are not going to see any results by the time you are done. You are just going to regret the fact that you went on mini braids journey. I'm going to be sharing with you guys 4 tips that might help you, especially for those that are still on mini braids journey and are planning to stop. First thing is that be generous with trimming. I was not generous with trimming. Immediately you're done. I'm not saying you should be trimming 2 months after you're done or 3 months after you're done when the damage is already showing. No, immediately you're done with your protective hairstyle and you're not planning to install any protective hairstyle again, just trim your hair generously. Now, I'm not talking about cutting ½ inch, cutting 0.8 inch. Go 2 inch, cut it off. Okay, let's say, okay, you love your hair so much. Trim 1 inch off or go to a professional stylist to trim your hair for you. Make sure you're generous with trimming. Number 2, invest in products. Just because the product worked for you while you're on the journey does not mean that the product is going to work for you by the time you stop. You have to invest in products that is going to repair your strand, because trust me, by the time you are done with the protective style, your hair strands will be very, very fragile. Make sure you go for products that will repair your strands. It's extremely important. Number 3, the efforts that you put into your hair while you're on the journey, make sure that you multiply it. Make sure that if you put in 3 times while you're on the journey, make sure that by the time you're done, you want to become loose natural, make sure you're putting it times 10. If it was 3, you have to put in 30 effort. If it was 5 when you're on the protective hairstyle journey, make sure it will be 50 by the time you're done. You have to take extremely good care of your hair. Then you have to assess your hair, because it's in section. Some sections will be more fragile than some other sections. So you have to assess your hair and note the parts that you're going to give more attention. There are some parts that need more attention than other parts. For me now, I was supposed to focus on the back of my hair. But no, I did not do that. The energy was the same. I did not assess my hair to know that the back part is the most fragile part for my hair. There are some that it's their side or their front. You will see their front hair, it's gone. But for me, it was my back. So you have to make sure that you assess your hair. Do the fragile test so that you know the parts that you're going to focus on by the time you're there, especially for treatments. So please make sure you assess your hair. It is very, very important. I will still rate mini braids 8 over 10. Mini braids is a very good protective style. I love it. It's just that you have to make sure that you care for your hair by the time you are done, because your hair will be very fragile. If you are able to hack it, trust me, you're blessed. And follow the tips that I give you guys. You don't have any problem with that. There are also some signs that you need to know. While on the journey, there are some people that they're supposed to stop the mini braids journey. That mini braids wasn't working for them. They just decided that they want to force it. It's just as if you are forcing a toxic relationship, or you are in a one-sided relationship and you are forcing the love. That's the way it is. You're going to see some mini braids. You're going to be seeing their hair. You will realize that no, this hair is already damaged. So let me just tell you guys 2 signs to know that your hair will show you pepper, will show you shaggy by the time you are done. Number 1, if you lost a lot of hair while you're on the journey, your hair, like your strands, are already fragile. So that means if you're losing hair while you're on the journey, that means your strands are already fragile. So by the time you stop, it's better for you to just stop than subjecting your hair to further tension. I'm not saying that mini braids has tension. No. Mini braid doesn't really have tension like that, but it has medium tension depending on the size. You know, we have big mini braids. What people do these days is big mini braids. That's what they do these days, not the standard 100+ mini braids. They will just do big sizes. That one even has crazy tension compared to the 100+ size. It is best for you to just stop if you are shedding a lot. Now, if you don't shed a lot of hair while you're on the journey, you're going to shed a lot when you stop, and it is normal. So you have to be able to differentiate between breakage and shedding, and what to expect, what not to expect. You see some people, shedding is normal. Meanwhile, you've already shed a lot of hair while you're rebraiding your hair. You stop, you're still shedding, and you think there's no fire on the mountain. There's fire on the mountain. No, big fire is on the mountain. Another sign is that if your pattern is getting wider, there are some people that when they started the mini braids, their pattern was thin, like it wasn't so wide. But by the time they're like 4 months, 5 months, 6 months into the journey, the pattern is already wide. My dear, your hair, is screaming for help already. So you're supposed to stop and go for other style, or just let your hair recover. But the thing is that because we are so obsessed with hair retention we tend to miss out on these signs. Bonus sign is that if your hair is getting thinner towards the end, you are losing hair. It's time for you to stop. Just stop it. The damage can be crazy with some other hair. The only thing that saved my hair, because right now my hair looks as if it's layered. The back part is like shorter, the side part is like normal 3 inches difference, so it's like layered hair. I used to get questions like, did you cut your hair? Your hair rind, your hair is the same thing all over. Not that the back hair is longer than the side hair, or the back hair is longer than the front hair. Giving me layered hair, so the damage is not like obvious, but I know something happened to my hair. I know that. But there are some people that their hair will be so damaged, you'll not be able to recognize it again. There are some people like that too. And the only thing that saved me was because I was very intentional with my routine. I was intentional. I was consistent. I was very generous with my products use and everything. I assessed my hair. I observed my hair and everything. I was very, very intentional. But by the time I stopped like this, I stopped the journey. Forget routine, forget intentionality. So that was what saved my hair. Else, in fact, I'll just show you guys my low cut. I didn't mean it was that bad. And the fact that I used to make my braids myself, I used to rebraid my hair myself. I do not go beyond 1 month before rebraiding my hair. I rebraid my hair every month. I didn't mean I was rebraiding every 2 months. Because one thing about mini braids is that your hair will be shrinking inside the braids. It's not like twists that if you had water is stretching. But for braids, you're not stretching anything up. It's just going to keep on what? It will be shrinking inside. It will be like constriction. It will be shrinking. The more you leave it, the more it shrinks inside and constricts. Meanwhile, it's much more tension. But there are some people that already start their hair with tight braids, and there will not be space for that constriction, thereby causing much more damage. Mini braids is very tricky. If you're able to hack it, you are going to see wonderful results. But if you're not able to hack it, you are going to regret mini braids. Yeah, that's that about that. I know some people will still be like, it's probably my fault. I didn't take care of my hair, this and this and that. I was like you. I was like you. When I saw the results and I compared the length and everything, I was questioning myself. I was gaslighting myself that probably it's my fault. I was thinking it was my fault. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. But then I remember a particular lady that was also on the journey in 2022, 2023, because there is one thing about social media. When you are doing something, they tend to recommend that particular thing to your page, like mini braids, mini twists. So when I was on mini braids, I was seeing people on mini braids too. There was a particular lady that caught my attention. Her username is, she compared her 3 months result and her result was insane. It was 10 times better than my own result. And I was like, wow. Since then, I could not forget her username. I remember that she was on the journey. She had amazing results and everything. When I was gaslighting myself, thinking that it's not mini braids, it's me, her name crossed my mind and I decided to check out her page on TikTok. I searched and I saw her latest post with the caption, braids are all looking. With that caption, I felt like she also took a break, or she was off mini braids for some time, but she's back on mini braids. But one thing that caught my attention was her hair. Her hair has changed. It wasn't the way it used to look like. For example, look at the way her hair used to look like during the journey and everything. Look at her hair now. I thought I was the only one that noticed until I checked a comment section and somebody pointed it out, like, what happened to your hair? And she replied that she doesn't know what happened to her hair. A week later, she posted another video reminiscing on her hair, comparing what her hair used to look like and what her hair looks like now. So that means she also noticed it. And she said she missed when her hair used to look like this and now her hair looks like this. And she had a lot of comments. A lot of people were like, she should not worry, it's going to grow back. A lot of people were like, maybe it's because the braids were tighter. Even if the braids were tighter, no. I don't think the difference is supposed to be that obvious. So many people were asking, like, what happened to your hair? That person said she also had damage in the comment section. Then other people were asking what happened to her hair, and she said she doesn't know. She replied some, she said maybe stress, that she doesn't know, and so on and so forth. That was when I got to realize that it's not me, it's mini braids. It's not me at all. And I stopped gaslighting myself and I was like, probably mini braids was partially responsible for how fragile my hair was. You say I used partially. I'm not condemning mini braids. No. Mini braids is good. It has its advantages and it has its disadvantages. The impact, you can control it if you follow the tips that I've talked about in the video. If you follow it, you should be able to see less breakage. And it's not even everywhere. Like I told you guys, it's just some parts that were fragile. If you take care of your hair during the journey, I don't think you're going to have bad effect. When one person, 2 people, 3 people are complaining about a particular thing, then we need to assess that thing and see if what they are saying about it is true or not. If you've had any negative experience or positive experience with mini braids, please let me know in the comment section. For those that will come here and start saying mini braids work for them, most people are on protective hairstyle all their lives. They've never left their hair in afro state for like a week straight. They've never done that though. They are always protecting. So I don't think they can relate with being a protective hairstyle girly, then all of a sudden you turn to a loose natural girly, like you transitioned. So this video is getting longer. I want to know more about my journey. I documented everything in my ebook longer hair formula. If you're interested, the link is in the description box. That's the end of my mini braids chapter. I will be going on another protective hairstyle journey for a year or 2. I really don't know, but I'm hopeful that this new journey and the post protective style journey will be better than mini braids. I'm hoping. I can't vouch for any hairstyle right now, but I'm just going to rate mini braids 8/10, not 10/10. 1 year for now, because I can change my mind. I can decide that this thing is not working for me. I can even get tired and say I'm not doing it again. So I can't say, but for now, 1 year protective style journey, and I'm going to be showing you guys the length I'll be starting with and everything in my next video. So don't forget to like this video, share this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you have anything to say regarding this video, if you can relate, if you have one or two things to say, kindly use the comment section. I'll connect with you guys in my next video. Bye.